Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Sustainability Spiral. I'm Ella,
And I'm Kim.
and this is the podcast where we take you through sustainability's hottest topics, pun intended.
In this week's episode, we're talking about hot mess. And no, not in reference to how we'll all be feeling this weekend with this impending heat wave that's about to hit round two. It's London's hottest new musical at the Other Palace Theatre, which tells the story of Earth and humanity's complicated relationship to the sound of girly pop bangers. Right up my street.
And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at the Sustainability Spiral and make sure you hit follow on your favorite podcast player app so you never miss a spiral.
Should we get into it?
Let's get into it. So, Kim, we're going to talk about hot mess.
Yeah, it's nice to see you after like 4 hours of being hot,
Yes, I know. It's been one night and one night too much.
as always.
As always. But yeah, last night me and Kim went to the Other Palace Theatre to see Hot Mess, a new musical that is recently hit London's West End. I think I heard about this. I have somehow found myself in like many WhatsApp groups with like climate and sustainability events. And I think this cropped up in there. And I think I sent it to you and we were like, this looks like a bit of us.
Can I just say, like, generally, I feel like sustainability events maybe previously had a bit of a bad rep, but now they're so fun. I don't know if it's because we are little climate nerds and we like love it, but I feel like people are just like really doing climate storytelling in a really nice way. So I feel like over the years, the events have gone from being like ESG panel discussion to Hot Mess the musical.
Make it pop culture. This is
Make
what
it
we've
make it
been
pop culture.
saying. This is what we're trying to do. Make sustainability pop culture, and then the girlies will want it. And this is what we want. um, do we want to do a quick synopsis of what the play is about? And I think we should caveat this by saying we think everyone should go and see this musical. I think it's on until early September, so you got plenty of time. The tickets are like between 15 and like 50 quid, so like not crazy expensive, and it's a small theatre, so it's like perfect to go and see. Um this episode will contain spoilers if you're going to see it, because I think we're going
Yes.
to really delve into the plot. So if you want to go and have no context, pause here, buy your tickets, go and see it, and then listen to this when you get back. If you're not bothered about spoilers, just keep listening.
Yeah, I loved it. Thanks so much for suggesting it. I thought it was such a fun time. I feel like a lot of the like I said, like a lot of the time, like climate storytelling has been a bit depressing and dry. And putting it into a musical dating show format was really the hook that I needed to bring a bit of cheer to the climate narrative. So I loved it.
Do you want to tell us what it's about? What happened?
Okay, so in Hot Mess, the opening scene is Earth. Earth is this like gorgeous woman. She comes onto the stage and she's just complaining about her dating history. But Earth comes on to the stage and she's just talking about how she's been existing for like billions of years. And she's just really like been searching for a connection out there. And she's just saying that like the options available to her are just not really cutting it at this stage. So she just cycles through a few like dead partners basically, in that she starts going out with a single cell organism, and the cell organism's not really doing it for her.
What a shock.
Yeah, I mean, like what you going to chat about? Not much
What are
in
you going to chat
common.
about?
Then she starts getting with a fish again, like not too much that she can do, and not really giving her what she wants. Then the dinosaurs come along, and
Eh.
Earth is like, "Hello, dino time! Like this is what I've been waiting for. Um, you're a sexy T Rex. You're T sexy Rexy." Um, and she just like is having a cute little fun time with her dinosaur relationship. And then obviously we all know what happens. It doesn't even fizzle out. It just like ends very abruptly with
Some
the
might say explosively,
yeah, it's an explosive end.
you know, you know.
And just like that relationship's completely wiped out along with the entire species. So she's real sad about that. And she's kind of just like biding her time, recovering. Obviously, she like there was a bit of impact when her last relationship ended that she's got to deal with.
Mm, that is
Um,
like the ultimate form of closure.
what like meteorotic meteor what's it?
You're your partner being wiped out by a meteor along with their entire species. There's no coming back from that.
It's a real savage closure, but
It is, but you gotta move on,
you
and
think
that
there's
she
no
did.
coming back from that. Put a pin in that for later. And then anyway, this man comes along called Hugh. His full name is Hugh Manatee.
So
Right.
good. So good.
I wanna know if the writers thought about humanity before humanity. Like, did they start with Hugh and then created humanity, or did they just were like Earth and humanity and then we'll just make it humanity?
I feel like
That's what I wanna know.
they've got to have started with Earth and humanity and then worked backwards and been like, "Humanity, Hugh,
Hugh.
Hugh."
So Hugh comes along and he's like, "Oh my god, hey Earth, like, thanks so much for like those berries that you've been growing for me. Like, I love like gathering my food. Like some of the weather patterns that you're giving me are a bit intense for me to deal with." But he's kind of just like filled with awe and admiration for Earth. And he's just like crushing real hard. He like fancies Earth so much, and she's gonna kind of like, yeah, I'm kind of digging this guy called Hugh. So then they start almost like chirping a little bit, flirty, flirty, flirty vibe. Um, and then humanity just starts to kind of develop some basic skills. So he starts to do a bit more hunting rather than gathering. Um, I think he like starts to think about rocks. There was reference to rocks at some point. Maybe you
It's
remember that a bit
reference to
more
rocks.
than
My
me.
personal favorite rock reference was there was lots of this is a bit of a side tangent, but there was lots of fun book props with fun, like, names, and one of my favorites was 50 Shades of Clay.
50 Shades of Clay is so funny.
50 Shades of Clay is so funny.
Also, sidebar, like a pottery studio should do an evening called 50 Shades of Play.
There should just be that would be a great name for a pottery studio. There's gotta be a pottery studio called 50 Shades of Clay.
Yeah, surely, right?
Surely.
Some of the other book titles that they had were like Great Precipitation instead of Great Expectations, which I thought
Sense
was
and
cute.
Sustainability.
Sense and Sustainability, very cute.
So good.
I
A
feel like there's
Tale of O2 Cities.
A Tale of O2 Cities.
So good.
That's great. I love that. Anyway, so then Hugh just like they start to like go out with each other, boyfriend girlfriend vibe. Hugh is obsessed with Earth. You know those kind of relationships where the guy just like thinks their girlfriend's unreal. That's how
Mhm.
it starts. And he's like, "You're so fit. Like I just love you. You give me everything I need."
I mean, he
And
is
then
punching.
yeah,
Let's be
he's punching
honest.
hardcore because
Hardcore.
he keeps being like, Where should we go on this date?" And then obviously she's just like, "Yeah, I can like show you the whole world."
I can show
Show
you
you
the
the world.
world.
So he's just, like, loving it. There's also lots of funny bits where he's like, "Oh, let me draw you like one of my French girls." And he just draws her flat. And then he starts to, like, get a little he just starts to advance. So he starts to build ships and starts to build spears and starts to cultivate wheat. And I feel like that's the first point where you start to realize their relationship's starting to get a little bit spicy
A little bit
because
toxic, some might say.
a little bit toxic because he keeps referring to it as his wheat. And obviously,
Mm.
Earth is like, I made that. Like, I know you think it's yours because you grew it, but like, I've given you all of the services that you need to grow it. Like, the seeds are mine. And he's like, no, it's my wheat. Like, I've grown that. And she's like, yeah, but I've obviously helped you do that. So,
The relationship starts to get a bit like take, 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 doesn't it? It starts to get a bit
yeah.
maybe one-sided.
And he's obsessed with wheat. Like, he just loves growing
Obsessed
wheat.
with wheat.
And Earth's like, that there's all these other foods out there, like all these like gorgeous fruits that I'm like growing for you, and you're just obsessed with wheat.
Also, like, going from, like, a T-Rex who's, like, literally, like, the ultimate predator, carnivore, like, rah, to, like, this little dweeb who's like, "I grow wheat and eat berries."
Dweeb. Wheat dweeb.
Wheat dweeb.
Yeah, and she's just like, "All right, fair enough." And then it starts to get to like he really is starting to take the piss, I would say. So he's just like taking all of her resources. They get into another bit of an argument because she's like, "You've cut down like all of my like wood to like build all of these ships and like now some of these like cities and settlements. Like, do you need to take so much? And he's like, oh yeah, like sorry about that. Like, we'll just plant some more trees. Don't worry. Like, we'll sort it out. We'll sort it out. Sort it out.
This is where the communication issues, and some might say gaslighting, I think come into play.
Interesting.
Mm,
I would agree.
I would agree.
Also, this is where the one of my favorite songs in the musicale, Tomorrow, comes around for the first time,
Yeah,
which is essentially a song where he just keeps being like, "I'll sort it out tomorrow. I'll sort it out tomorrow. I'll sort it out tomorrow." And it's like, I kind of need you to sort this out today.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Then when Earth's been like, "You're kind of taking all my natural resources," because she's still a girl in love. Humanity's like, "Oh, well, I can, like, plant these trees," and then Earth has what I think she thinks is a bright idea, but in hindsight was, like, the beginning of her demise. She's like, "I have some resources that I haven't told you about," and then I don't know how to describe this part of the musical.
It's what I can like. It's nothing has ever been more appropriate than what is essentially like a sex scene about man discovering fossil fuels.
It's like the
The
lust.
lust. It's like
So,
you wouldn't think to do it, but it makes so much sense. Do you know what I mean?
it makes a lot of sense. It's definitely the pivotal point in the play.
For sure.
So they're 50 Shades of Claying it up on stage, basically. Because she she is saying, "I've got oil reserves, I've got some coal, and it's all, like, down below." So then it gets real raunchy, and he's like, "I love fossil fuels." And then this is kind of, like, where she gets the ick. I think the whole audience got the ick with him, to be honest.
Yeah. I have to say, I thought the 2 actors had really good chemistry though. Like, just, on in the play.
Yeah.
Thought they had, like, really good, like, Earth humanity chemistry. I was really rooting for it, even though I knew what was gonna happen.
No, like, if you didn't know that that would then lead to the demise of humanity, um, you would kind of be like, "Oh, like, she's really opened up to him.
I
She's
know.
given everything she's got."
She's literally given everything.
Yeah. And then so we have the raunchy scene where she's like, "Have my fossil fuels," and then humanity just gets gross.
Mm.
He just, like, becomes, like, a greedy, like, progress obsessed, kind of like manosphere bro, is the vibe I was getting.
Yeah, really is giving the manosphere. I didn't think
You know
about
what I
that.
mean? Like,
Yeah,
"I can
yeah.
do better," like, "This is all about me
Success.
building stuff for you and
Mm.
success," and she's like, "I don't want this," and he's like, "No, like, this is so amazing." So yeah, then he's, like, putting, like, street lights up, like, electricity, Earth's like, "Oh, with all of these street lights, you can't see the beautiful stars that are out there," and he's like, That doesn't matter because I've made electricity," and she's just like, "Oh, I feel like you're not really listening to, like, what I like and, like, what I
Mm.
need," and then he invents air travel and space travel.
That does not go down well.
It doesn't go down well, and then he basically, like, flies to the moon and then calls Earth to be like, "Oh, babe, like, just checking in, I'm just going to the moon," and then you can hear the moon's voice in the background being like, "Who are you on the phone to?" And then he's like, "Oh, it's just my mum, don't worry about it." And Earth sat there at home like, "Is this guy joking?"
No, I know. She's like,
Like,
"What the heck?"
you've got a perfect planet at home and you're, like, farting off to the moon to, like, explore what's going on up there, and then he obviously comes back and he's like, "Oh, it wasn't even that good, like, you've got so much better things to offer me than the moon." And she's like, "Yeah, I know."
And I feel like this was one of my favorite songs, which is like I think it's called Happy, partly for the use of like quotes from the moon landing, like one small step, one giant leap. Like it was so cute. But also it made me think about the fact that when like Apollo went to the moon, like in like the 60s, everyone was obsessed with the pictures that they sent back of Earth.
Mm,
And everyone, when Artemis just launched earlier this year, everyone was also really obsessed with the pictures we saw of Earth. Like we're obsessed with, like we see this big adventure to like go to the moon, and this like crazy like feat of like human invention. And the thing that I think like touches everyone most is when you see like the beauty of Earth, and like that's what the astronauts always talk about as well. And it just made me
yeah,
think of that. And he comes back and he's like, it's got nothing on you, and the moon's got nothing on Earth. Facts.
so
It's just
true.
a rock in the sky.
It is crazy that we're spending, like, billions and billions of dollars to basically take, like, an Earth selfie in zero point 0.5 to, like, see the whole thing.
You should tell NASA that.
Hey, NASA,
Hey,
I've got a
NASA.
question. Obviously, I know that that's not the only reason we're doing space exploration, but that's the bit that, like, seems to resonate with, like, the common person, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when he comes back from the moon, there's just, like, a friction in the relationship, and she's like, "You really just aren't listening to, like, what I need. I'm also getting really hot now." And he's like, "Yeah, like, that's not really my problem." And she's like, "It literally is your problem, like, you're not, like, helping me at all." And then humanity. He comes back with he finally starts to, like, get the point, and then one of my favorite parts of the show was that he came back with a bunch of he went away and did scurried away, did a bunch of work, like, a bunch of calculations about how he could make it better, and then he comes back on stage with, like, binders and binders of climate pledges, and he just, like, shoves them down on stage, and he's like, "See, I've pledged to make it better.
And
Like,
a pledge is better than a promise. It's
a
what he
pledge is better
says.
than promise." Yeah.
And, like, says, like, "Show me an example."
I know. And then he just comes on and he's like, "Look, I've got everyone to agree on these things. Like, we can make it better for you." Earth's reading the pledge and she's like, this just states what's wrong. This doesn't state like what you're actually going to do to reduce these challenges and like problems. It literally just says, we have recognized that these are problems." And he's like, "Yeah, that's the first step. Like, we just need to recognize that this is an issue. We don't have to commit to doing anything yet,
And
but
it's,
we'll just
like,
recognize it's an issue."
I think one of, like, the clearest examples of someone, like, showing how ridiculous some of these like, I think obviously like international consensus on global like climate action is really important. But like when you think about the COPs and the like conversations around wording about whether we're going to phase down or phase out fossil fuels instead of like actually phasing out or phasing down fossil fuels, like that part of the play, I think is just like the clearest messaging of just how ridiculous like us getting so caught up in pledges and not doing the actual like work is. And it made me think about like when we went to go and see Kyoto, which was another play like a couple of years ago at the Soho Place Theatre. And again, it just like shows how little progress like we've actually made. We make all these pledges and like we're still having the same conversation 30 years later.
Yeah, I know.
Which is that's a depressing thought, but like
Yeah.
it was a very funny way to make that message, I
But
thought.
yeah, I was lolling. Like, I
Yeah.
was like, "That was really funny." So then he comes back with lots of climate pledges. Again, their, like, romance starts to rekindle a bit. She tries to, like, give him another chance. And then I think Earth is, like, bringing it up to him again, being like, "Please, can you sort this out?" And then he sings the Tomorrow song again, and she's like, "I've had it. I've had it with you." And then that's when he, like, turns and he gets quite aggressive. And then obviously Earth just, goes to town on every single climate disaster that she can start to pull. So she's just like horrendous rain starts happening. I think there's like a volcano going off. Like she's basically just pulling together everything that she can to just like really show that she actually is the one who is in charge here.
Boy, is she.
And boy is she. And then there's an amazing song where she's basically like, "This is my house. You need to get the beep out of my house."
I think that was my favorite song.
Yeah, me too. The empowerment of Earth, taking back what's rightfully hers, showing like her strong side. And then she's basically like, "Humanity, like I will make it like um inhabitable for you to remain on this planet." So she does that, which is great. And then she then comes out in this like red dress, I think to symbolize that she's just made the earth a completely uninhabitable place for humanity to belong. And humanity's like, "Oh God, I'm gonna have to leave." So the end of the play, humanity jets off to, I'm assuming, Mars to try and colonize another planet and basically be like, "Oh, like this is fine. Like kind of didn't realize how good I had it with Earth. But you know, like I'm back with this new planet now, and we're like getting on great. But really, it's
Very,
kind of a short term thing. I'm thinking maybe long term, I'll like see what else is out there. But I didn't realize how good I had it with when I was with Earth."
very Elon Musk coded.
Very Elon Musk coded.
Mm,
And then Earth's happy ending is that she obviously makes it in habitable for humanity to remain on planet Earth, and she's like, "Thank God I got rid of them. Like they were the worst." And then she's like, "Oh, but they've left behind um, their AI systems." So then she starts dating AI. Yeah, she's like, "Siri, love you." And Siri's like, "You are so hot." And then her and Siri basically devise a plan whereby they can bring back, dinosaurs.
They basically do Jurassic Park. The ending of
Yeah.
the play is Jurassic Park.
Yeah, her and Siri do Jurassic Park, so they bring back T-Rexes and alongside other dinosaurs, and then Earth is basically in a polyamorous relationship with AI, Siri, and yeah, lots of dinosaurs. And she just like loves it. Oh my god, Siri's just started listening on the phone. Sorry.
Mm. That is the happy ending we want for Earth.
I know.
Humanity can go and do what he wants. Don't care. Don't care. Earth,
Yeah.
here for it. I'm like, girl, you do you. You do whatever you need.
She was so happy at the end. She was like, "Oh my god, that like post-extinction glow up is so good." She was just like in her gorgeous dress, and humanity was just on Mars, like, "Oh god," like
Yeah,
trying to convince
he
himself that he
messed
was
up.
happier, but you knew that he wasn't happy.
No, it's like that classic, like, you've, like, messed up a relationship and you're like,
Yeah,
yeah, this is on me, guys. My bad. My bad."
and
Um,
that whole story is interspersed with pop bangers, is what I would
oh my god,
say.
the songs were so good, and also, like, just, like, get into a bit of a background of the show. So I was reading the program that I bought yesterday evening, and the
Sorry,
person
and we
who
got signed because me and
and we
Ella,
got
like, ran
signed
out of
'cause
the pub afterwards to be like, "Will you sign our
we're such
face?"
fangirls. I honestly loved it so much. I'm keeping this
I know,
forever.
so cute.
But the person who did the music supervision, also did the, was also the musical supervisor and vocal arranger for Six, which made me think because
No way!
it was very Six vibes, like, the songs were very Six vibes, and the woman who played Earth also played Catherine Parr in Six, and I was like, "It all makes
Shut up.
sense. It all makes sense."
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh my god, so when some of the songs were going, I was like, "This is kind of Six vibes."
Yeah, and, like, it's obviously, like, very different, but, like, if you like Six and you like the music from Six, you will like this. Like, it's, like, that same, like, poppy musical, so good. Like,
Oh
it
my
kind
god,
of
that is amazing.
pulls on, like, different, like, pop songs.
Love that. Also, like, Six did so much for me in terms of being able to name all of Henry VIII's 6 wives.
And now you can talk effectively about climate change.
Yeah, my
You
god.
obviously could
10
before.
years in, I'm like, "Now I get it.
Now I
Now
get it.
I get it." Oh my god, that's like I didn't know that, that's so cool.
I know.
Big up
And
6.
also, that there is, like, a studio cast recording of the album, which I would highly recommend everyone to listen to, and I was also reading that I'd only recently heard of this play when it came to London, but it's been, like, I think it was first written in 2019, and in 2021, they workshopped some of the songs and released them with a music video as part of London Climate Action Week.
See, this is what I, like, love when people are very creative around, like, climate strategies and, like, events like London Climate Action Week. So fun.
So fun. Should we talk about some of our favorites?
Yes. I think my 2 favorite songs, first off, it was that Tomorrow song
Mm.
because I just was like, this just, like, sums up the climate crisis in a nutshell. It just sums up the fact that, like, we've had this information since, like, the '80s, and everyone's just like, "Yeah, like, profit today, we'll sort that out tomorrow. Oh, profit today, we'll sort that out tomorrow. Oh, I think it's fine to keep doing this today, like, that's a problem for tomorrow." And it's like, if we would have done it on the first tomorrow in, like, 1991, like, we probably would have been okay and not, like, experiencing heat dome 40-degree days in, like, central London, you
To
know?
quote one of my favorite sustainability professionals, Kim Van Leeuwen out, "Today is the cheapest day to start net zero."
I love that you quote that to me. Also, like,
You are my world.
that could
I need to
be
get your face on a top that says that.
says that on the back, and 100% of the sun's power doesn't have to go through the Strait of Hormuz.
Honestly.
So I love Tomorrow, and then I also just love the one where she was like, "I wanna remind you that, like, this is my house, and, like, I hold all the power here. I am Earth, and you are humanity, and I've given everything to you, and you are disrespecting me, and I want you out." And I just thought like, oh, it's just so powerful. I just literally loved it.
It was such a good, like, power breaker. Like, I think I would just listen to that, like, in my life, that song. It was so
Motivational.
good. I think it'd be great on a run. Be a great run song, you
I was
know?
thinking there's a lot of songs on this soundtrack that I think would be good for a run. Also, the Six musical soundtrack is great for a run. House
Great
of
for a run.
Holbein.
House of
Hello.
Holbein, yeah. Maybe I should see if we can get Hot Mess in my choir. Sing some of the songs from Hot Mess in my choir.
I
Could
would
you
love that.
imagine?
That's the crossover that we all didn't know we
That
needed.
that is the crossover that we none of us no one needs. Nobody
What were
needs it.
your favorite songs from the musical?
I agree. I think, like, in terms of, like, messaging and, like, landing, like, a really good message, I agree. I think Tomorrow was really good. And I think My House was my favorite song. Like, and that is gonna be, like, I'm gonna be listening to that on repeat. But I also really liked Better in Time, which was, like, their kind of, like, duet love song, and they did the song at the start of the play, and then they did a reprise, and it's, like, a really fun way to, like, show how the relationship's, like, developed, and they're, like, basically being like, "We're a power couple," and I'm like, "Yeah," and they do this sort of, like, rap break where they talk about, like, all the achievements that they've got, and they're like, "Windmills, irrigation, apples, pollination," and stuff, and you're like, "Yeah." Yeah, power
So good.
couple. Then when they do it, like, later in the play, they kinda start off and they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna fix the climate crisis," and they start being like, "Green energy, clean energy, saving the pandas," and then Earth's like, "Wait, why do we have to save the pandas?" And then humanity's like, don't worry about the deforestation," and Earth's like, "What do you mean the deforestation?" And then it ends up just being, like, humanity, like, just, like, on one of, like, "I'm doing all this great stuff," and I wrote down this, like, quote, which I really liked. It was like, "We're cycling and recycling, but we've gotta keep the profits maximizing. Wonder why the temperatures are rising? Oh, well, better in time." And I was like, "Oh, I feel like that
Yikes.
just sums it up."
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with so this generally was like such an upward spiral for me. I thought it was like such a fun play to go see, but then there were just moments throughout where it just like punched me in the gut, and I was like, "Oh god, like it's not funny, is it?" Like
I feel like
so bad.
I agree, like, it's, like, it was very, like, fun and funny, some really good, like, one-liners, like, I laughed, like, a lot throughout the play, and I think there were times when I was like, "Oh, this is, like, a bit too real," but it's such a fun way to, like, deliver that message, and like we said at the start, so often, like, climate change and sustainability messaging is, like, so doom and gloom and, like, very, like, sciencey and technical, and this was still, like, fairly doom and gloom, like, it got the point across that, like, we're not doing the right thing, but in, like, a fun way. We never do things in a fun way.
Yeah, so true. The bit that like really punched me in the gut as well was when they were breaking up. And then on the stage, like loads of fog came. And I just turned to Ella and I was like, she's making it uninhabitable for humans. She's making it uninhabitable for humans. And I was like, oh God, like, she's taking her revenge.
I just feel like we need more stuff like this, like, more storytelling and, like, ways to engage people that's, like, doesn't have a high barrier to entry.
Yeah,
I do think maybe some of it, like, some of the jokes, I think maybe would have gotten lost if you're, like, not invested in this space or, like, not in this space. Like, there was a lot of jokes that hit me as, like, a rock lover that I think maybe wouldn't have landed with some other people.
I've
But
got
I
like
loved
rock
it.
love osmosis by hanging out with you so much. So I can like appreciate that you will love the jokes, but I can't pretend that I understand them all.
I love the jokes.
Um,
Um,
And that's what I looked into, like, why the writers, like, chose this topic. So it was written by Jack Godfrey and Ellie Coote, I think she's called. And they said that they wanted to write about climate change because they felt it was one of the defining issues of our time, but they didn't want it to be a preachy show. And I feel like that's what the narrative is a lot of the time in this space is like climate change is bad, humans are to blame, like we should feel guilty, XYZ, like all that sort of stuff. But this was just like more like a softer comedy lens to the climate crisis, but still to use like humor and emotion to make us all feel connected to the subject without it being like a horrible, overpowering, like depressing spiral, which is like exactly what we're trying to do on this podcast. But just like make it accessible and also just like fun. I loved it.
I wholeheartedly agree. I think we spoke about this a bit yesterday. I also think it was really interesting, and I don't know how much of a decision this was, whether it was like whether this was thought about or it was always going to be that way, but like the fact that Earth was a woman and humanity was a man, I thought was like a really interesting like decision, maybe slightly reflective of like power dynamics
Yeah.
and like typical like gender traits of like feminine versus masculine. I thought that was a really interesting choice. And I would love to know if there was like thinking behind that. I tried to have a little Google and I can't see like anywhere they've spoke about that in interviews, but I'd love to know if they were like I would love to know if it would work either the other way round or with like both characters being male, both characters being female. I think it would be really interesting to see if it worked in the same way.
Yeah, and, like, I agree, I thought it was, like, done correctly in that way, and then it's just always quite interesting, I guess, not to get into, like, manosphere territory, but the debate on, like, what is feminine energy,
Mm,
because, like, Mother Nature, like, Earth, it is always kind of referred to as, like, she, but, like, climate catastrophes are, like, some of the most violent, devastating, powerful things
mm,
like, that happen. So, like, that to me is, like, ultimately what feminine energy is, you know? Rather
for
than, like,
sure.
ditzy, like, "Oh, yeah, like, I'm just in whatever."
Yeah, so true. So true. I also there's in the program there's a really cute like little like bios of like both people, like Earth and humanity. So I think Earth we saw was played by Danielle Steers, who was amazing, amazing voice, great comedic timing. And
Loved her.
humanity was Morgan Gregory, also incredible, also great voice, good vibes all around. And I really liked that they had these little like profiles and like green flags and red flags. And it's like Earth is like a great listener, emotionally deep, supports growth, reliable and grounded. And then red flags can be a little dramatic, occasionally burns everything down to make a point. And then
I love that.
humanity was like creative, passionate, occasionally capable of kindness. And then red flags, main character energy, leaves everything till the last minute, says we'll figure it out constantly. And
Yeah, such main character energy.
I thought that was just such a fun little like way to describe the characters.
Yeah. It was so well done. I loved it. What I also liked was that I think I haven't seen a lot of, like, climate storytelling that has been, fiction. Or like fiction based. Like I feel like
Mm,
everything else that's um had an impact from a society point of view of like making people really care about issues. Everyone kind of talks about Blue Planet being like the big one that's made everyone kind of think about plastic pollution, and that being format of entertainment that has like really sparked a campaign for change around a certain topic. So, like with Blue Planet, obviously a documentary, David Attenborough, BBC, like all of these amazing, like intellectual powerhouses behind the content. Um, but I really like seeing this in a fiction format. So, like a dating show comedy musical format is so engaging. And like the only other example that I can think of that's kind of fiction as well is Don't Look Up,
mm,
which I feel like when that came out on Netflix, everyone was like, this is so funny because we're basically just doing the same thing with the climate crisis. But they almost had to talk about a different issue to like draw parallels to how we're dealing with the climate crisis today. So I liked that this was fiction and still very much grounded around the interaction between Earth and humanity in the climate crisis realm.
yeah,
That's so cool.
100%. 100%. And I feel like this was a bit lighter than Don't Look Up was. So I think on the whole upward spiral of it all, I think you could go to this and not feel like quite depressed. I'd argue you'd come out of it and actually not feel depressed at all. I feel like you'd feel quite like not maybe not uplifted, but it was very like fun and funny. Um which I think we need a lot more of in this space. And like tapping into like different generations and like the content for different generations as well. I just really liked.
I also loved that at the end, humanity went to Mars, which I thought was very nicely timed with what's been going on this week with SpaceX's IPO.
Which is crazy
We've got
in
a
so
trillionaire.
many ways.
There's a
Like,
trillionaire on the world.
oh, I feel like I'm gonna like this is gonna make me come across as really stupid, but like, is it not crazy that it's like the biggest listing in history for a company that's like not really done anything?
I mean, yeah, like Y
because he's not
yeah.
gone to Mars yet. He's also, like, not built the stuff he's gonna do for the moon yet. So I'm like, what are they like, please, someone who knows more about IPO listings than me, explain it to me because it makes no sense.
I think the really profitable bit of his business is Starlink, which is like the Wi-Fi that you can just like put anywhere.
And is Starlink part of SpaceX?
Yeah. So I think that that's the like very valuable, profitable aspect of the SpaceX.
Mm. But I
Um,
imagine, the ongoing, the future value they see from the business is, like, his plan to, like, put a base on the moon and, like, mine stuff and to, like, put AI
yeah,
data centers in space.
yeah,
All of
yeah,
which he's not which is just crazy, like, all of which he's not done, and it's like anyway,
yeah.
I don't wanna
It's
get
pretty
into the
wild.
Elon Musk of it all.
So when
That's
I
it. That's a whole
Yeah, that's a whole other episode, isn't it? So when humanity went off to Mars, I was just thinking about he was like, "Oh, I didn't realize like how good I had it back on Earth, back when I was with Earth," and it just made me think about SpaceX's ambition. So Elon Musk has said that his long-term goal is to make humanity, which again is funny, and that's like the term that he uses, a multi-planetary species. So he wants to build a self-sustaining city on Mars. And it's like, we have oxygen here. Like, I don't think we should take that for granted.
hard agree.
We don't need to put a suit on to go outside.
I would like to go to Mars though. Like, this has made me re-question that decision, but, like, I think space travel is so cool. I'm a big space geek. So, like, if someone was like if anyone other than Elon Musk was like, "Do you wanna go to Mars?" If NASA was like, "Do you wanna go to Mars?" I'd be like, "Hell yeah." But then I'm like, it's made me think about this, like, constant drive for, like, expansion and progress that we have as a species, and it's, like, not obviously not sustainable, and for us to now be like, "Let's put that on another planet."
Yeah. And he wants to go because he wants to like mine those planets.
Yeah.
And it's like, haven't we kind of learned our lesson with like extracting beyond like the limits of the planet that we are currently on? I'm not sure that mining in space is the way um to deal with our like resource use on Earth. Also, just going back to you wanting to go to Mars, like I get that that would be like a great adventure, but like what are you going to do when you're there?
Science.
Okay, fine, fair that you're like a science girl, so you probably would do experiments and stuff. But
Yeah.
also,
I wouldn't necessarily wanna go and, like, colonize because that feels, like, just a bit weird, but I would like to, like, go on, like there's a really good TV show called For All Mankind on Apple TV Plus that's, like, a reimagined history of, like, the space race, and they end up, like, doing all these cool, like, missions to Mars and, like, explore I just feel like it would be cool. I just I just like it.
fair enough. If there's no terrace where I can get an Aperol spritz, to be honest, it's not really for me.
Don't want
So
it. That's fair enough.
I'll be on
Shall
Earth enjoying my oxygen.
and I'll be on Mars enjoying my rocks.
Yeah.
Shall we wrap up with our, like, takeaways from the play, musical, and our
Yes.
ratings?
Let's do it.
So, I think my main takeaway was that, like, I think it was really clever how they built it around a relationship because I think what it reinforced is the fact that, like, nothing we have done as a species, we have done by ourselves. Like, everything we've done with Earth's, like, resources, with the fact that we can live on this planet. Like, as far as we know, we're, like, the only planet that has, like, living beings on it at the moment. Like, we are in this, like, unique space and time and planet where we can, like, we've been able to, like, be alive and, like, evolve and grow and adapt and innovate, but, like, none of that we've done, like, just because we're, like, super clever. Like, all of it is because 'cause we've, like, used resources and, like, cut down trees and, like, we didn't get here by ourselves. And also, we need to fix it, but we also, Earth will survive without us. Like, if we're
Yeah, I think that all the time.
I
Like
know.
anyone who kind of questions net zero, I always think, you know, it's actually not a question of net zero. Like the Earth will get to net zero at some point. The question is humanity there at that point? Because Earth will just make it so inhabitable for us to live here that there will be a mass extinction of humanity, and
We've
then
had it
she'll be fine.
before.
You know,
We'll
yeah,
have them
like
again.
exactly. Let's not like, I think it's just like the cockiness of like humans to be like, "Well, it's not gonna happen." Like it has happened before, it could happen again, and like in the past, it hasn't happened because of people actively causing something, like a meteorite has hit. We are the meteorite here. And like, do we want to divert that? Probably yes.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I think everyone should go and see this, and I think we should have more things like this that talk about climate change in a, like, fun pop culture way, please.
Agree. What's your rating?
I think it's like I think it's a 5 out of 5. I loved it. I thought it was funny. I thought the songs were good. I thought the acting was good. I thought the singing was good. I thought the staging was good. I thought the concept was good. I just loved the whole thing.
Perfect. I'm completely in agreement. I am also giving it a 5 out of 5. And my main takeaway was if you don't laugh, you'll cry. So you should write an award-winning pop girl musical to deal with some of the most difficult issues of humanity.
And Kim and I actually have an announcement. No, I'm joking.
One day, the
One
Sustainability
day,
Spiral musicale will be gracing
musical
the West End.
starring neither of us. No offense. You're great at karaoke. I don't think either of us could carry on the West End.
Hey, hey, hey. Maybe with the right training, you never know.
That's true. We'll get on it. We'll get on it.
Yeah. But yeah, we loved it. And more of that to come because next week it's London Climate Action Week. So
It
Ella and
is.
I will be bopping around town at lots of different events, mainly doing work stuff, obviously. But we also have some like fun creative things, like another climate play that we're going to go to at the start of the week, which we will report back on, and that'll be our next episode. So come back for that in 2 weeks' time, and we'll give you a recap of London Climate Action Week and
Yeah.
everything we get up to.
And let us know what you're getting up to. Let us know if you're around. We'd love to see people. Let us know what you think of Climate Action Week this year, and we will be back with our debrief in 2 weeks.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe where you get all your favorite podcasts, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks' time. Hope you enjoyed it, guys.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
See ya. Bye.